This question is a summary question. Let's read the passage, recap the main points of the passage, and then look at the options. Correct option will summarize the main points as given in the passage. Wrong option will either change the tone, change a word, or misrepresent the meaning of the main point. So it's very important for you to identify the main point of the given passage before you look at the summaries. Do not read the summaries first, the options first. They will all look similar and they'll be very confusing. All right. The ethnographic record indicates that for the past few centuries, diverse forager societies have used clubs for fighting and hunting particular prey. So, diverse forager societies, foragers, people who forage for food, search and collect food, they have used clubs. Why? For fighting and hunting particular prey. A smattering of archaeological finds confirms that clubs armed humans for millennia, possibly pre Homo sapien ancestors for longer. Ethnographic one says that many forager societies use clubs for fighting and hunting. Archaeological finds have shown that clubs, human beings have been armed with clubs for millennia, possibly even pre Homo sapien ancestors have used it for longer. The fact that our close ape relatives whack animals with branches and logs suggests that human ancestors had the brains and dexterity to club for perhaps millions of years. Looking at apes, which whack people with or other animals with branches and logs, shows that human beings had the brains, because apes are our ancestors. So human beings had the brains and the dexterity, the skill to use clubs for millions of years. Combining these lines of evidence, archaeologists are convinced that the earliest modern humans likely wielded clubs, probably more often for conflict than hunting. So, based on all this evidence, archaeologists say that earliest humans used clubs, but these clubs were most probably used more for conflict rather than hunting. Got your main points? All right, let's look at the options. Archaeological evidence indicates that humans have been using clubs for millennia, and the fact that our ape relatives also use branches and logs to whack animals suggests that our ancestors likely used clubs for millions of years. That seems to be a little hodgepodge of ideas. Ethnographic records, one he mentions here, he's only talking about archaeological evidence. That's my first objection to this. Second one is, because our apes use this, based on that, we can say that our ancestors had the brains and dexterity, rather than concluding they used clubs for many years. The fact that apes are using it shows that our ancestors had the brains and dexterity. That's the conclusion. So A, I am not happy. Let's look at B. Ethnographic and archaeological evidence. Good. Now my conclusion is based on both, right? Not just archaeological evidence. So ethnographic and archaeological evidence suggests that clubs were used by diverse forager societies for fighting and hunting prey, and that early modern humans likely wielded them primarily for conflicts. Perfect. Ethnographers said foraging societies, hunting, fighting. Modern archaeological evidence also included that they likely wielded clubs. For what? Primarily for conflict. More for conflict than for hunting. Looks like a good summary, has all the main points. But let me look at the other options. The use of clubs by humans for fighting and hunting prey dates back thousands of years, and archaeologists believe that early modern humans likely used them primarily for conflicts than hunting. Now, what is the problem with C? The use of clubs has been given more as a fact rather than a conclusion. The tone is very definitive. This is what it's stated as a fact. So, the club usage and it uses the word fighting out here. Conflict, a little different from fighting. So not happy with the tone of seats. States humans used clubs for this and this, and they did this. Forager societies used it. Ethnographic society said. Then based on apes using clubs, we say ancestors also had the dexterity and skill to use clubs. They probably likely used them for this. Here it's stated very definitively, like it's given facts. I'm not happy with the tone here. Ethnographic and archaeological records suggest that clubs have been used by humans and their ancestors, so both of them together, primarily for fighting, indicating that they had the brains to use them. Again, a hodgepodge of ideas. Clubs, seeing apes, they said, yeah, even ancestors, humans had the brains. The entire thing is been clubbed as they used this, and this indicates they had the brains to use them. Therefore, the best one is B. Yeah.